Hey everybody, it's Ben here with another DIY dad project, the Princess Castle bunk bed. This was a pretty fun project that was basically just an experiment in repurposing. I found just an old basic wood bunk bed at the thrift store. I painted it up, just painted it white, gave it a good base coat. After that, it was time to design the actual castle itself, which is basically just plywood. I used a sheet of 1/2-inch plywood to make the two towers on either side. When I got to the top, those are separate pieces, which I just cut out with a jigsaw. After that, it was a matter of doing the central arch, which I did by making a very simple compass to cut this sort of half circle shape to the arch, just the way I wanted it. I temporarily assembled the components, and then I cut out the Gothic arch windows just using a simple paper template so that they would be symmetrical and both would match. For the windowsills themselves, what I did was I cut a piece of cedar and put a bunch of slots in it with the table saw. And then that way there's a notch for the windowsill to sit down in the bottom of the window. That way it also acts as like a little shelf or a display, a place to put dolls or one of those flickering LED artificial candles. Now, because this is all just flat plywood, I also wanted to add some dimension to it. So the shape of these little shelf windowsills sticking out, along with the trim and a couple other layered pieces. I've got a wide board at the base here, and I've got trim coming out around the towers, as well as a piece of crown up here. Gives it a sense of depth, with it still being basically just a two-dimensional plywood project. Once I had that done, I did the main painting on all these components. For the pink trim, what I did was I got some sample paint. A lot of the big box stores, instead of buying a gallon of their fancy paint for a lot of money, they have a small, usually an 8-ounce container you can get for just a couple of dollars. So I just picked out a pink that I liked and had them make up a sample size portion for me, which was great for doing all the trim on the bed. After that, for the curtain rod in here is just a wooden closet pole, very simple. The curtains themselves are a material that I got at the thrift store. It is nice and heavy, it's long. You can drape it all the way down to the floor. You can close off both the arch and the windows with it, make it nice and dark and very private in there for like kind of a little reading nook sort of a setup. Then the cords to tie back the windows. Another little bit of recycling there. I recently graduated from college, finally, with honors. So that's my college graduation honors cords there, make very regal curtain tiebacks. After that, it was a matter of getting the bed here and just assembling it, which was pretty straightforward. Basically, the three main pieces, the arch and the two towers, and those were all just face screwed right onto the wooden bed, just using some typical wood screws and some finishing washers. And what's nice about that is, let's say the girl gets older, she doesn't want a Princess Castle bunk bed anymore. All it takes is 5 minutes with a screw gun, and I can revert this back to just a plain, solid bunk bed. Now, once the bed was in place, we still added these jewels on here. Very, very easy. All that is a bag of plastic jewels from the craft store and a hot glue gun. Now, down under the bed, there's actually quite a bit of storage space. This is just a little bit higher than a typical bed. So it's really easy for the girl to crawl down there and hide. She calls it the dungeon. Alternatively, it's also a great place for storage. I wanted to add some sort of lighting to this project, but to keep it really simple, I just used an LED tap light. So we've got a light inside here, and the girl can just press that, and then she's got a little reading light for inside. And the project was also designed so that it would match the princess chair that we made for her for a birthday a couple of years ago. So it kind of went with the same style as that. So far, the little girl just absolutely loves her Princess Castle bunk bed. She's just been having a blast with it. I had a lot of fun working on it, and I'm not a master carpenter or anything. It was pretty simple woodwork, paint, plastic, and a hot glue gun. Nothing too complicated, nothing anybody else couldn't do. So I hope you've enjoyed seeing this project. If you'd like to see the entire write-up on it, please check it out on my account on Instructables.com, and I'll see you on the next project.